Why, hello there everyone. I'm the Kumo Sensei, and I'm back for a live stream. It's been a long one, but I'm back. Without further ado, I hope everything's going well, and it's been a while, but I've been working. But now, I finally have a sort of a day off, so without further ado, I am going to be streaming today for a little bit, just to catch up and to see what's been going on. Hello there, Universal Knights. And yes, I am going to give everybody a bit of time to stop on in. And man, it's been a while, and I will do a lot of stuff again, but really, I've just been grinding the workload. So, yeah, I'm going to give everybody a second to jump on in. So once we get our regulars in, such as our mods and whatnot, then we'll start by talking about things. But I hope everybody's doing well. As for me, the one word is tired, but I'm still hanging on. And I will talk about what I'm going to do in the future, things that are happening in my personal life, and pretty much explaining where I've been. Which, honestly, I've been doing a lot behind the scenes, but not really. But it's a bit nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie, because this is totally out of my comfort zone. But not in a bad way, more so of like a learning experience. So... and what I mean by that is, as good as I am when it comes to my Tarantula work, my acting skills, voice acting, and the things I want to do in the oncoming future, I will have to admit that it's pretty nerve-wracking because I am familiar with those things, but this is a totally new direction, that is for sure. It'll pay off eventually. I'm hoping it will, but if it doesn't, I'm prepared for the worst, because let's be honest, failure is something that can happen, and it will happen from time to time. So I'm not going to make promises that I'll become successful or anything of that nature. I'm just being realistic here. Hello there, John. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy belated birthday. And I love your gift, by the way. It's really nice. Hello there, Marco. It's really nice to see you too. But happy birthday, John. Sorry, I was working yesterday, so I couldn't wish you a happy birthday. But happy belated birthday, John. And I hope your birthday went well, because my birthday's coming up pretty soon. In the next 2 weeks, I believe. Yes, in the next 2 weeks, it'll be my birthday. So it's really good to see everybody again. But yeah, allow me to clarify what has been happening in my personal life. So, John, I wish you the greatest birthday in the world. Man, if only I could send you something. Because I feel bad when it's a birthday and I really can't do anything but just wish him a happy birthday. But I'm a caring person. I just try not to be too expressive about it. But everyone though, allow me to now that we're all here, I guess, I'm going to explain what has been happening, what I'm doing behind the scenes, and essentially catching everybody up to speed. So, in the past, I did post a video about what I want to do in my 20s and my goals, and one of those goals was getting a car. Basically, most of them have been done, but 2 of them, starting a Tarantula business and getting into voice acting. So I am actually starting to focus my priorities on those 2. But as for which one is coming first, I'm guessing the spider work or my Tarantula business that I'm starting up. That one has to be first, because that's the more difficult task at hand. While voice acting isn't the hardest for me, because I come from a stage acting background, I will say that it is a bit more luck driven, so I'm actually going to do voice acting still, but more so on the side while I prioritize my Tarantula work. And that is currently my goals right now. And in terms of vlogging, I am going to do a vlog next week, introducing my car and some things. Sensei, how old are you? I'll be 24 pretty soon, so I'll be approaching my mid-20s. Well, 24 is technically, it's more closer to your mid-20s. But yeah, a lot of people do say I do look very young, but it's really just because I'm Asian. When you're Asian, it's kind of hard to tell how old you are, because everybody appears younger than what they should be. But yeah, I do have goals of starting my Tarantula business soon. And I'm actually trying to save up for that, but watching the great Jahi will not be defeated dub. The dub is actually really good. You look 19, not gonna lie. I am not 19 years old. I wish I was still 19 years old, but that time has long since passed. I do remember actually doing some small college voluntarily stage acting roles or gigs, quote unquote. But let us not get sidetracked though. I'm not gonna lie, I have to admit this, and I'm gonna be transparent. I am extremely exhausted. And the reason why is because I literally used up thousands of dollars for my surgery to remove my mole here. And then I had to use more thousands of dollars to actually get a car. Now I'm essentially trying to invest more money into starting a business. So I went from back to back to back on just using money that I've been earning. And I am extremely exhausted, but I'm still pushing on because I don't want to give up on my dreams and goals just yet. It's still too early, everybody. And that's clearly somewhere where I'm at. And a lot of people have been asking, when will I vlog again? Next week, I will post a vlog. Maybe, I don't know, like in the next, maybe on Sunday or Saturday, I will post a vlog. Recently I've been trying to focus on what type of vlog style I really want to do, because I've been looking at vlogs and they're not really the way I like it. I like a bit of mix between in video and in commentary. So I'm going to try to find a good balance between the two. But Skillet, we're all doing good. Even though I'm a bit exhausted, I'm still hanging on. So yeah, I hope everybody keeps pushing on. And I also want to make this kind of clear, because I never stated this until now. So if you're listening, congratulations. For the longest time, I have been doing progressive overload in terms of my training. But as I approach my mid to late 20s, coming into my 30s, I really want to transition from training with weights to focus more on recreational fitness. And this isn't me quitting or training, but it's more so of me trying to find a new way of staying fit. But that's just me personally, so I don't want people to think that I'm going to train progressive overload for the rest of my life. My car didn't really need to be fixed. I just couldn't find the right terms for it. Like, the headlights on it was working, but it was very old. So I was like, you know what, we're just going to change out the headlights. And that's essentially where it kind of comes into play when I say fixed. It's not necessarily broken, but it could be better. And that's exactly what I've done. But yeah, for those who are wondering what car I got, it's a Nissan. It's a Nissan Altima 2004 model. So it is an older model, but at least the insurance isn't so expensive on it. But it's a pretty nice car though. And I did travel with it quite a bit already, so I'm not complaining. It works fine and it cruises, which is the blessing. That is a blessing. I'm truly thankful. I actually cried twice. And I don't want to cry again, because I try to cry behind the scenes, not in front of the live stream for you guys. But I'm truly thankful to be in this position. And I will admit, I did not expect the support to be there, because this channel, as I stated before, was more so of a throwaway channel. So to see it come this far is just ridiculously crazy. We're almost approaching 3,000 subs as well on this channel. And honestly, I always made the joke that if I hit 10k subs, I will actually start getting back into style. Like actually showing you guys how I actually look, not default style. But that's at 10,000 subs though. But I really hope that... I really don't want to do it at the same time though, because it really changes the perception of me though. It makes me look like... sorry. I'm sorry guys, but at 10k subs though, I will go back into style. But as of now, this is my default. My base emptiness. No hairstyle, nothing. Thanks for the hugs, John. Yes, having a car is very convenient, I'm not gonna lie. It makes getting to and from work much more easier instead of relying on Ubers and public transportation. But fuel prices are deadly. Yes, gas prices are pretty bad, but I work pretty hard, so I always have money for gas regardless. So it's not the end of the world though. how long have you been working out? So, Leonard, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have been training for over 8 years now, and really, it doesn't feel like it, but it has been 8 years. That's a crazy feeling, honestly. I started way back. I started training way back since I was in senior high school. Now, like, I'm a young adult. I've already graduated college and everything. So really, I've been training for an extremely long time. And a lot of people say I don't look like I've been training a long time. And it's really because of a few reasons. Number one, I train I train specifically for stage acting and dance instructing. So it's it's really it's really for that purpose only, not necessarily for looking jacked. And the biggest factor of all that a lot of people forget is that I'm natural. I am 100% natural, guys. I do not take any PEDs, quote unquote, or anything of that nature. So because of that, I'm not big, quote unquote, but this is what a realistic, natural person looks like who has been training consistently. But I hope that clarifies your question. But I've already stated that way long before, So for those who are new, now you know. I'm 100% natural, which is why I don't look as big as I should. But hey, this is what you get though if you want to be natural though. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say. If you're at Barnes & Nobles, Barnes & Nobles is an amazing place to buy light novels. I think the last time I've been in Barnes & Noble, they did actually sold some light novels that I did like, such as Reincarnated as a Slime. I didn't buy any though because really I was just there just to look at what's new, not necessarily to buy anything. But Barnes & Noble, the best place to buy your light novels and sometimes your manga as well. But I prefer buying manga online because it's better if you do it in bundles. Do you take protein shakes or something to get up your protein? I do not actually take protein shakes, believe it or not. But because the thing is that you kind of had to figure out what works for you, honestly. That's all I gotta say. So for protein, okay, let me explain. When it comes to protein in my diet, usually it comes down to eggs. Eggs works the best for me. And then second would probably be chicken or fish. One of those two. Those are my go-to proteins. I find that when I eat beef or pork, it settles in my stomach way longer than it should. So for me, if it comes down to my proteins, definitely eggs. You're a dancer. Yes, I'm a dancer. Man, you didn't know that, Leonard? I'm a dancer, believe it or not. It's like it's kind of confusing because I've already said that so many times already in pretty much all of my videos. Finally, a streamer that can reply to comments peacefully. Well, it's really just because our chat is very small. So because of that, it's pretty straightforward, So I can pretty much answer most or the majority of questions that comes in. And I try to be transparent as possible to get through to people. But yeah, I've been a dancer for an extremely long time. Believe it or not, when it comes to my dreams and my goals in life, the only one that has truly been completed from start to finish is dance instructing or dancing. Because I have been dancing for over a decade now, over 10 years. I've started way back when I was in junior high school or middle school. So that's where I started, believe it or not. And then I started as a street dancer, then I became a street performer, then I became a competitive street dancer or basically a competitive dancer. And then currently I'm a dance instructor. But so I've done pretty much everything when it comes to dancing at this point that I wanted to do. So if anyone ever wonders what is a goal that I've actually completed in my lifetime, definitely without a doubt is dancing. Like I can actually leave it behind at this point because I already taught so many people already to where I pretty much don't have anything else to prove. Do you watch One Piece? Yes, I do. One Piece is amazing right now. It's kind of funny how they really want to remake... I mean, They want to pretty much redo One Piece's anime. And I actually think that it is a funny idea, but a great idea. One Piece is actually not a very long series. That's kind of shocking to say. The problem is the anime. The anime's pacing is not so great. But if you read the manga, it's very fluid. Like, it just goes straight on through. But the anime drags it quite a bit, which is kind of where a lot of people make the meme or the joke of One Piece is too long. And that is true. It is too long if you watch the anime. But if you read the manga, it's actually pretty straightforward. Zoro is my favorite character of One Piece as well, believe it or not. So, Universal, I totally agree with you. I know, right, John? Can you believe that? October will be like the 25th anniversary of One Piece. It's going to be so interesting. I know they're going to do some amazing stuff to celebrate. I betcha they're going to do like a 25th anniversary for the card game. Like, John, I'm telling you, man. I know that a lot of people are getting into the One Piece card game. I really do want to try it, but then again, though, I don't know where to start because I was at my local Walmart and my card shop, and they did have those starter decks for those One Piece cards and whatnot. Yeah, but I'm super hyped to see what they do for the 25th anniversary for One Piece. I know they're gonna do something amazing. Okay. Ghost in the Shell's getting a new series. I saw that. I actually posted about that on the Discord. For those who are not on the Discord, there's a link down below to go join. Feel free to do so. So, Ghost in the Shell is pretty interesting. For some reason, it's getting a new series. I personally am... This is going to be a biased take here, but I personally think that Ghost in the Shell should just be left as is. Like, I don't think it needs anything more. Because I think the movie in itself is perfection. Like, for what it is. Ghost in the Shell and Akira. Those movies, perfection. Like, it doesn't need to have anything new to it. But hey, that's just me though. Don't take my word as truth. Feel free to formulate your own opinions. But the reason why do you watch Jujutsu Kaisen 2? Yes, I do. But the manga though, man, the manga is crazy right now at Jujutsu Kaisen. That's all I gotta say. But we're finally getting to the good stuff in Jujutsu Kaisen, which is finally like the long anticipated wait. But let's see when the next season comes out because I'm super hyped and I really want to see what they do with it because there's still a lot they can actually work on. Anyone notice that Oshi no Ko actually got a season 2 announcement and now is going to focus on my specialty, everybody, stage acting? Oh my god. As a stage actor, I really want to see what they do for Oshi no Ko season 2, but man, stage actor reacts to stage acting in Oshi no Ko. That is... that's going to be the most interesting thing ever. But... yeah. The second season did have Nobara had the eye-popping moments, but there's still some amazing things to come, though. It's kind of funny because, oh wow, 5th anniversary already? The first season of Jujutsu Kaisen's anime came out 5 years ago? Dang! That means that... basically, it means that I was still in college then. Time really flies when you watch anime, doesn't it? 14 years in the making when it comes to watching anime for me. No, whoa. 16 to 17 years. Been watching anime for way too long. I started watching anime seriously, like as in like watching it hardcore around 2008, 2009 ish. But until then though, I was really just on and off anime then as a kid. But because for example, if one of my relatives bought in some anime on a DVD, which was a bootleg by the way, I would just watch it. But it wasn't really until 2008, 2009 when anime subs, my bad, became more common, the fan subs. Oh, but that's a long story though. What's your latest stage acting job? So believe it or not, I was actually in a stage play to where I was essentially a side character on this original production. And I don't really understand I understand the role, but I didn't really have much lines. I had about 5 lines. Are you Japanese? No, I'm American. Sorry to break your bubble, Universal. But what happened was when it came to stage acting day, nobody showed up. It was a really sad moment. And a lot of people started to cry. I cried, believe it or not. And then yeah, it wasn't so great, believe it or not. And then the stage production pretty much got halted and then got canceled. But I didn't really necessarily audition for that role. I just showed up and then they were like, "Who the hell are you?" I have like you I don't even have okay, they look at the portfolio of my resume. They're like, this guy is an amateur, whatever. And then when I showed up, they're like, "Who the hell is this guy? Who is this ugly guy here?" I was like, "Okay, hold up. Give me a second." And then I spent about 20 minutes backstage getting into proper etiquette, or to look properly. I jumped right back in front of the stage, and then they immediately said, "You got the role." So I didn't audition for that role. It's more so they just saw how I look and it's like, "Okay, you're in. And get in, show up." It was very strange because first of all, the role I got only had 3 lines. Secondly, I only got paid $15. And the third thing of all was that it was an original play, which is very... Okay, for those who don't know, when you do a stage acting production, you can't just do whatever you want to do. So, for example, you can't just make a stage play of Phantom of the Opera, for example, because the reason why is because when you're doing a stage play, there is licensing rights to it. This is to pretty much protect your stage play or your quote-unquote stage production from illegally being put on stage, essentially. So it's a way to protect your stage plays. So a lot of amateur directors and producers will write their own stories and create their own original stage plays. And this is basically them trying to create their own stories, quote-unquote. And if it catches enough steam and it catches enough popularity, they'll make a licensing rights to it. And that's pretty much how stage productions are sort of done, for those who are not familiar with stage acting and production. But this is just me simplifying it for you viewers to understand. But that's essentially what I do, though. You don't get paid much at all when you're doing stage acting, especially on the amateur level, because it's a very competitive field. That's all I gotta say. I will say this, though. If you have the looks, it goes a very long way. I'm not even lying when I say that. Looks play such a big role. Like, if you look the role, you get the role, or you have a much better chance of getting it. But stage acting is pretty rough because I've seen a lot of horrendous stuff behind the scenes. I've seen people starving themselves to make a stage weight. I've seen people popping pills. I can't actually name drop what people take behind the scenes because I don't want people to actually go down that route. Well, you have the looks. Oh no, I'm actually at defaults mode. Every single time you see me on video, I'm at defaults. But wait, as a matter of fact, hold up. I do actually have my makeup kit here, everybody, for those who are wondering. So, yeah. As a stage actor, you do have to wear some sort of makeup here. So, yeah, wow, it's been a while. So you have your typical stuff like these here. Your eyeliner. You know, it's kind of funny, but I'm actually a very good looking guy. But I choose to hide behind the screen though, so this is my default mode. Let me hang that back up. But that's the thing though. I don't really like to be like, I know that people want to see like a really handsome version of me or like a very anime looking character version of me, but really I only go that mode. I only go into that when it comes to stage acting. Other than that, I really just like to be just to breathe out because it's tiring as hell. Like, you want me to? Ugh, I'm sorry. It's just too much, honestly, at times. And a lot of people do ask if I do style my hair. I do actually. That blue bottle behind me, if you can hold up, let's see if I can show you. That blue bottle right there. That's my hair spritz that I use. And then I also do have hold up. I also do have some hair gel here from Japan. So this is a Japanese brand of hair gel that I use because I don't really trust any other products besides Korean and Japanese products. This is actually an affordable brand. It's like $20 for this much. So still haven't used it yet until I complete the last one, that is. But yeah, though. Sensei, do you have a special someone? No, I do not. I'm currently single. But I would admit, okay, man, it's kind of funny how people do say that. I actually am not really in the mood for dating right now because I'm currently chasing after my dreams and my goals in life. And also I really don't have time to actually date. But if I'm being honest though, I wouldn't mind dating again. I believe that my special someone is out there, but I just don't know who it is. But I'm gonna let time do that though. Like, if somebody accepts me for who I am, but now it's how many to look like a hottie, then maybe. It's kind of funny that it takes me back like a couple years ago. How one of my Korean friends actually tried to hook up with me, but I refused. Like, I've turned down people a lot actually. Believe it or not, a guy actually asked me out, so I said no. And it's kind of infuriating because, like, you think that people will accept you for who you are, but it's not really the case, believe it or not. Because, like, when people see me, they're like, yeah, this guy, no, I don't want to date him. But the moment I get into style and put myself back on, everybody's like, that's the guy I want to date. Well, which is it? You can't have both because it's just too much, honestly. But the day will come, I will find somebody, though. And recently, I think about a week or two ago, one of my online friends actually asked me out, and I said no. I said no. And it's not because I'm too good for them. It's really just because I really want to chase after my dreams. And I know that it gets in the way at times when it comes to relationships. So I don't really want to get into a relationship and then ruin it by focusing too much on chasing after myself. Because then it wouldn't be fair for my partner if I had one. So I just want people to understand that. Because, like, I've dated in the past, but it really, honestly, wasn't so great. Yeah, guys have asked me out before. 3 guys, believe it or not. One was a random stranger, one was one of my coworkers for stage acting, and then the third one was actually a friend of mine, one of my online friends that I've known for about 5 years at that point when he asked me out. 5 to 6 years. But I like I said, I'm into women. No disrespect to them though. But my guy friend that did ask me out, I did go on a play date with them though. Like a mock date or something like that. Not like a real date, but like a practice date. Just because he didn't really have much experience. So really, that's pretty much the only date, quote unquote, with a guy I ever went on. No kisses or anything. It was more so of like, whatever, you know, because he needed help. It doesn't hurt to help out a homie whenever he needs help. How did you get into spiders? I told this story a million times already, but when it came to getting to spiders, it was more so of an accident. Believe it or not, I actually wanted a pet scorpion in the beginning. But one of my senior high school friends was like, hey, Sensei, I have a pet tarantula. And when he told me that, I was immediately hooked. Like, that was when this is it. Tarantulas, it is. Because my love for animals is it's a family tree thing, so it passes down. So my grandfather was into like chickens and stuff, and then my father, he's into pigeons and doves, and for me, I'm into tarantulas. But yeah, that's essentially how it started, though. It was more of a pure accident. I didn't really like plan the whole thing. It just happened. America's Best Dance Crew, I loved that show as a kid, but as I grew older, you come to recognize that the show is rigged. And as a dancer, it really hurts my pride because, man, imagine entering a dance competition to know that you're going to lose already, like beforehand. It just doesn't feel right because dancing is extremely physically exhaustive. So, Leonard, in terms of streaming, I'm trying to stream once a week again because I just got my car. So, I expect one stream a week. So, I don't know exactly when, but I expect it on the weekend. So, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'll post ahead of time on my Discord and here on YouTube, like when I'll stream. So, stick around for that. Now, granted, if I end up working a random shift because somebody called out, or if I'm forced to work on something else, then the stream may get delayed to the next day or so. But I am trying to stream between Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So I want to try to go back to that schedule. Yeah, your personal night. You got to go to bed. You got to go. I don't force anybody to stay on my live streams. Even in the past, when I had 0 viewers, like I don't really care if people stay or go because people have their own lives, you know? It's not my decision for you to stay. That's your own. If you got to go to bed, you got to go to work, or you just want to leave, you have to go, by all means, feel free to do so. It doesn't really hurt my feelings, honestly. But, yeah, though. I got the Riz. This is kind of a misconception that is kind of true, actually. I only have Riz whenever I want to have it. But the thing about being attractive is that it's just so tiring. Like, it is extremely tiring. And not to mention, you become too self-conscious. So for me, I think this channel is kind of this channel and my Laxo channel, where I do my tarantula work, is more so of a way for me to just decompress, you know? Like, just not to worry about trying to get into, you know, the looks, quote unquote. Have you seen Disaraki? Isn't that like a breakdancing competition in Japan? That's really all I really know. And I believe it is sponsored. It is a Red Bull concert. I mean, not a concert. It is a Red Bull sponsored event. And that's really all I know. Because I don't really watch breaking or breakdancing or b-boying that often, if I'm being honest, when it comes to dancing. Because I do not come from that bubble. Like, the thing about dancing is that dancing is such a big, massive world that you kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of good dancers out there. Excuse me, that's all I gotta say. So Disaragi, I know what it is. Well, I sort of know what it is, but not necessarily. But yeah, though, that's dancing for you, though. Big bubble. I am teaching dancing this year, but it's kind of funny because I've already met everybody else that's teaching dancing this year, all the other instructors and some of the students. And I don't know exactly how it's working this year, so we kind of had to wait and see. And I'm going to see if it's going to mess with the schedule of like uploading and whatnot. But honestly, I'm just so confused. I don't know what we're doing. So that's dance instructing this year. And it is going to be either longer or shorter this year as well in terms of teaching. I'm hoping that it's a bit longer, but if not, that's fine. Because if I have more time, I can teach my students way more awesome dance moves like that I like. But that's just, okay, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. That's the crazy part. But yeah, though, everybody, I'm still alive, and I will be live streaming, and the basic stuff will come back around. But I really do want to get more into voice acting. That's the real question I have, is like, where do we go from here for voice acting? I'm still waiting for somebody to actually pay me $1 to voice in something so I can build credibility. I think people get confused about voice acting. They keep thinking that you need to actually, what you call it, get into a big role to start building your portfolio. But what I'm trying to do is not that. I'm trying to actually voice in anything. Can you do breakdancing? No, I cannot. Skillet, I hate to break it to you, but breakdancing is not my specialty. I specialize in freestyle hip hop. I have practiced other dance styles and dance genres, but in terms of like what you call it, breakdancing is not one of them, sadly, because it is way more physical than something. Have you voiced something in the past? So in terms of my voice acting credibility and my voice acting portfolio, there's really only one that's sort of there, but not really. And this goes way back in I think this goes back in 2020 when the pandemic started. There was actually an old radio broadcast station that was looking for a time slot for somebody to just fill in that time slot. And I actually signed up for it because why not? They was accepting any sort of audio, any sort of noise just to buy that time. So, believe it or not, I pitched an idea, I got it, I recorded something with this mic, and it was edited very well. It was about 14 to 15 minutes long, but nothing ever came of it because it got canceled. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. I did sign an NDA, by the way, when it came to that, so I don't know exactly how much I could talk about it, even though it's already long since passed. But that's pretty much my only credibility. But I can't consider it an actual role because it didn't really get posted or anything, or broadcasted. But I really would like to voice something though. So right now, I'm trying to voice in anything. Like I stated, if there's a smaller YouTuber that needs some voice acting, narration, I'm there. Like anything at this point, I will accept as long as it pays a little bit. $1 is fine. Like $1 USD is fine. That's really all I ask for. Because this is how you start when it comes to any sort of acting. You just got to get your foot in the door. It's not about how much you're getting paid or how big the role is. You just need to get a role. And that's currently where I'm trying to get at. So I'm hoping that for any of you smaller YouTubers that need a video recorded with some voice narration or anything of the sort, I'm here. $1 is fine. I just need to get my foot at the door. Like, just get there. I'm not going to ask for $100 for a commission. That's way too expensive, especially since I have no name or no credibility to my name. But once it starts going out, though, that's really how you start. So I'm praying that like somebody or a smaller YouTuber, they don't need to be bigger than me. It could be someone smaller than me. Anyone is fine. I'm just praying that somebody needs a voice narrator or a voice actor. It could just hit me up for $1, that is. And that's really it for now. So currently I'm still voicing a bunch of voice narrations and stuff, but I'm hoping it can get somewhere though. I do have voice acting experience, quote unquote, because I come from a stage acting background, for those who don't know. So this is actually a funny story, believe it or not, but being trained in a workshop, it was very interesting. So for those who don't know, a acting class is called a workshop, and that's essentially where you're taught. When somebody teaches, you call it a workshop. So my voice acting workshops were pretty interesting because this is during my college years, I think. Yeah, it was during my college years, what am I saying? So they actually bought in three completely different types of voice actors into our stage acting class for our workshop, and oh my god, it was so bad. 3 different types of voice actors with 3 completely different styles and 3 completely different ways of teaching voice acting. But luckily I did learn quite a bit though. My favorite one is voice narration. I am not qualified to actually teach voice acting, but I am qualified to actually teach voice narration. Voice narration is my strong suit. I can hear bad, like, I know when I hear bad voice narration when I hear it. I'm that good. Like, if I hear bad voice narration, I'm just gonna say it how it is. But that's actually, like, a long story in itself, though, everybody. But, yeah, though. You don't have to be silent, chat. So, if anybody in the chat has something to say, by all means, feel free to do so. I really just go with the flow when it comes to the live streams. And I am going to go back playing some Pokemon in the future, I guess, and some other stuff. There is actually a indie game I really want to play. Because it's, like, super chill and relax. But that's for the future, though, whenever it comes out, that is. But it's so nice to be live streaming again to you guys. And after this, I think I'll go back training a little bit. So I am actually slowing down on my training, and the reason why is because I've been losing too much weight. So my training has been it has been very light currently. Oh, you play Pokemon? Yes, I do. I'm a big fan of Pokemon, believe it or not. Favorite indie game? I had a few, actually. Hollow Knight was Hollow Knight considered an indie game back then? Well, sort of. Hollow Knight, I guess, is one of them. Another one, Tokyo Dark. Well, Tokyo Dark is by Cherry Mochi. Cherry Mochi is _Enix, but we just kind of had to wait and see. I have a few, actually. And I do like Fear and Hunger. Fear and Hunger, I only like it because of the lore. The gameplay is ridiculously hard, but that's how the game's meant to be played, though. And I also do like Crow Country. I haven't played Crow Country yet, but it has like an old PS1 style like horror element to it, and I love that. I'm a big sucker for the PS1 and PS2 horror aesthetic. There is something about that era, about horror games, that's just perfect to me. I'm really excited for Pokemon ZA. Love Pokemon XY. Pokemon ZA is going to be interesting, though, if it's anything like Legends Arceus. So I really want to see what they do on it. Oh, sorry, Marco. I apologize. Let me check. Okay, Marco. I'm going to try to get back into it. Okay. But actually, man, I'll talk about that towards the end, though, Marco. So hang in there. I promise. I'll talk about it towards the end. But I really want to clarify some stuff about some games real quick. My favorite indie game is Terraria. You can still count it as an indie game. Well, I don't really look. Terraria is not really my type of game, but I understand the appeal of it, especially those who like MapleStory. I know some people like MapleStory. MapleStory is not for me. Terraria, not for me either, but I understand the appeal of it, though, without a doubt. But, yeah, though, those are some of my favorite games. My favorite series is probably Fallout, though. Fallout is my favorite game series, quote-unquote, if you want to call it a series. With the exception of Fallout 76, but they say Fallout 76 is much better now. But I'm not a big fan of MMOs, which is why I don't play Fallout 76. So, yeah. That's just my personal opinion, though, guys. Huh. Marco's been here the whole time, John. He's been here. Now, let us actually talk about anime for a second. Sorry, I'm gonna get a little bit sidetracked here, but I need to jump back and forth for just a second about anime. So in terms of anime, a lot of people may be wondering, am I even still watching anime at this point? I don't really make videos on anime anymore. And here's the thing, I still do watch anime, so we'll get to that in a little bit. So don't think I'm quitting anime. I'm not. Favorite Fallout game? Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4 are up there. But honestly, I play a lot of Fallout New Vegas and a lot of Fallout 3 because the replay value is a lot better there than it is on Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is a good game though, but it feels, I don't know, it's kind of in the middle, somewhere in the middle. Between I like it and it's okay. But Fallout New Vegas is probably the one I replay the most. And Fallout 3 is the one I play the most if I want to have a casual fun. But I do love Fallout though. I actually did play Fallout 3 on stream actually. I need to play more Fallout again. Do I read Berserk? Yes, I do read Berserk. Rest in peace, Miura. But he did leave behind the script, so they are still creating Berserk chapters. And I really want to see how it ends, because Berserk has been going on for over, like, 30 years now? Like, a very long time. Ooh, has anyone seen the fan, was it like a fan animation or a fan anime of Berserk that they're making or something like that? It looks so nice. Man, people think I'm quitting on anime. Boy, no, I am not. Look, I'm not quitting anime, guys. I still watch anime. I still do love I still do love anime and manga. It's just that work has been eating up a lot of time. So, yeah, that's kind of the reason why I haven't really been talking about anime. But in terms of reading, though, that's kind of another thing. So when it comes to reading manga and actually reading light novels, I just don't have time for that, though. I really do want to read Pale Moon Reverie. That light novel looks good, but I still need time. And I still do need money, by the way, because I'm kind of tight on my budget. But yeah, though, I've been keeping up with anime news, man. Like, I haven't been losing track on it. Like, I still do read the articles made by Daryl Harding, Mikikazu Komatsu, and everybody on Crunchyroll, and even some of those people on, My Anime's News Network. Do you have any anime recommendations? No, I do not. I believe that anime, in a way, doesn't really have a bad starting point. It's really just where you... Like, for example, if you watch one type of anime you like, then from there on, there really isn't a bad direction. Like, honestly. Like, if you like shonen anime and you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, you've pretty much... Like, that in itself is already a guide to where you want to go. So I don't really make too much anime recommendations nowadays. Because, honestly, anime is anime. But to be fair, though, it's kind of hard for me to recommend anime because I've been watching anime since, like, I was a kid. Like, actually watching anime. It's been a very long time. This journey has gone very far to where, at this point, I could just quit anime and just call it a day. But now I really just watch anime sparingly now. Because a lot of stuff feels like copy and paste of something else that I've seen in the past. And this isn't to say I hate anime, but it's just the fact that I've watched too many animes at this point. Well, there's no better until you start Rent a Girlfriend. Rent a Girlfriend is not for me personally, because I feel like I can't really relate to it. I understand the appeal, though, of Rent a Girlfriend, but it's just not for me, man. I recommend the 100 Girlfriends. Maybe, John, maybe. When do you think you can reach 10k subs? Honestly, I don't really know, but I don't really care either at this point. I could take it or leave it. Like, the 10,000 subscribers was more so of a joke, but I made it. But a very long time ago, when I first started live streaming on this channel, I stated that if I hit 10,000 subs on this channel, I will actually start going into style again, like stage acting, on point, going out on a date looking style at 10k subs, instead of looking like default's bed hair that you're seeing now. So honestly, anytime, like whenever we hit 10,000 subs. But I really hope we don't hit that number though, because I really don't want to go into style. Because when you see somebody and they look completely different from how you remember them, it kind of takes away from that charm. So, I don't know. I just hope that you understand that when I say that, though. It's better to look... I prefer being ugly, put it that way. So that way I don't get any more proposals. I'm not a big fan of people... It's crazy, honestly. How many people have asked me out or tried to propose to me? Not a lot, but definitely a few. But I will prefer somebody just be themselves, you know? But that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to make it kind of strange. Look, I know I'm being cryptic here, but it's really just because I don't want to be like that guy who say he's the most handsome dude of all time. I'm not the most handsome dude of all time. My parents actually want me to get married, but I told them that I'm still. I refuse to get married, not yet, because I really want to go after my dreams first. Because like once you get married, or once you have a kid, or once you get into a relationship, it doesn't get in the way, but it kind of throws a monkey wrench into your dreams and the things you want to do in life. And I'm not one of those guys who wants to stay young and go out and party. That's not me. I'm an introvert at heart. Period. I actually do not do well at parties. I do go to parties. Look, I do go to parties here and there, but I'll tell you this, I'm the first person to show up and the first person to leave. So I just want, like, I really want people to understand that. I'm an introvert, but I hope people understand where I'm coming from, though. But like I stated, though, I do not mind dating. Like, if the time comes and a woman does appear before me, yeah, why not? Like I stated. Okay, here's the thing. Here's a little secret about me, guys. If you actually want a secret, I usually don't mind going on dates with anyone as long as they're willing to put in the effort. Like if a woman actually goes through the effort and like asks me out on a date, I'm not gonna say no, because like it's not because like I'm a player or anything like that. It's really just because like I really want to give people a chance for putting in the effort. I am 23. I'll be 24 in the next 2 weeks, though. I'll be 24 pretty soon. So honestly, like, as an Asian, as somebody of Asian descent, your parents will always want you to get married before you're 30. But the reason why is because a lot of my siblings and a lot of my relatives all got married before 25. And here I am, going to be 24 pretty soon, and still not married, nor do I have a girlfriend. But like I stated, I don't really want to. I'm still young. I don't want to get married too early, like my siblings. Like all of my siblings, like a lot of my siblings, not all, but the majority of them are already married and have kids already. But I don't want to go that route yet, because, like, look, my dreams comes first. So please understand. But like I stated, though, I would give anybody a chance to go on a date, though. You just got to put in the effort. Like, if you actually put in the effort and propose to me, like, asking, like, go out with me, Sensei, I would say, yeah, why not? You don't have to. And I also want to make this kind of like a preference thing so people will understand. I am tired and exhausted of looks. Okay, I'm gonna use profanity here, guys, so hang in there for a second. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna use profanity, so mute the mic if you don't want to hear it, or mute the audio. I am sick and fucking tired of people just wanting to go on a date with me because of how I look. And I want people to understand that. This is why, like, it becomes so bothersome to me. It's like, yeah, you want to date somebody who's good looking? Fine, but not me. I refuse. Like, even now, I'm just so tired of, like, people just judging you how you look. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing. This is the problem when your parents try to hook you up with somebody, or your friends try to go out with you just because of how good you look, or because how you actually look whenever you're on point. That's not, like, it just becomes so tiring. And you got to remember, I'm a stage actor. I've seen a lot of people who are good looking, like, when they're acting on stage. So I see good looking people every single day. But it comes down to a point where, like, you've seen so many attractive people to where you're like, man, looks don't mean anything anymore. Get them in your room. If they accept you for who you are, then it was a good choice. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that woman though. You know, this is kind of a downside of being attractive. I don't know if you guys can relate, but if you're actually attractive or when you're on point, a lot of people will get intimidated. Like they're like, oh, he or she's too good for me. But no. Yeah. It's not like that. Come on aside. That is not how it works. Just have the guts to go out and ask them. Try me. Watch, if there's a woman and she's not that good looking, or if she's self-confident, or like she's self-conscious of her looks, but if she actually makes the effort to ask me out, yeah, let's go on a date. Why not? Like, there's no harm in trying. Like, the fact that you went through the effort. I'm a big sucker for effort. That is the key about me, guys. If a woman is actually putting in the effort, that's already a keeper in a way, or somebody worth giving a try. In my book, that is. I was thinking about spiders. That's kind of the downside, actually. I just tell them I'm an arachnologist, and they'll probably understand Marco when it comes to the spider stuff. But in reality, though, that woman doesn't really exist as of now. But maybe in the future, though. Maybe in the future. But it's not... But I don't think it's my looks. Don't say it like that, man. I'm a firm believer that anyone can find someone at some point in their lives. Just don't give up. And also, be self-aware that yeah, things might not work out. I don't know. I think I kind of know that feeling. Those people told me I am good looking, but I just think I'm not old enough yet or something. Skillet, there's only one way to know, and that is to actually go out into the world. It's kind of, look, if you're good looking, there's actually an easy way to actually know if you're good looking or not. This is going to be kind of biased here, but I'm going to say this. The UI effed up. Look, I did not censor anything on this live stream or live chat, believe it or not. The chat boxes works the way it does. It's still raw and unfiltered. I only have one moderator, and that one moderator is John, but he doesn't remove any comments though. So if a message gets retracted or deleted, that's really on YouTube's terms, not on mine. Like, I just let the chat go whatever. But back to what I'm saying though. One huge advantage of being good looking is that you're usually able to actually get through or get by situations. Examples. You effed up, but you're good looking. The people will be like, he's pretty cute, I'm gonna let him slide. Happens before, it'll happen again. But I don't want to be that guy though. So if I make a mistake, I just own up to it. But I really do hope that, I don't know, maybe, who knows, maybe time will tell. But aside, this is my bad FD. Ah, man, this is gonna sound strange, but it is what it is. Whew. But yeah, though, everybody, I guess that's really about everything in terms of my personal life, I guess. It is really nice to catch up with everybody. I'm not ending this live stream just yet. So I really do want to talk a little bit about some anime now, because like I stated before about catching up with some anime. So in terms of anime, I'm pretty much caught up with most things I really want to watch, such as Mushoku Tensei and some anime such as Girls Band Cry and whatnot. I will say this though, when it comes to manga, however, manga and light novels and anything of that matter, when it comes to reading, I am not caught up in. So I apologize. So it's just that I don't have time to be reading stuff. So I really just use my time to watch anime. But in the future, though, I would like to try and catch up on those light novels that I missed out on, especially, without a doubt, those mangas. Because the only thing I'm currently reading is just One Piece. Because One Piece's manga is peak right now, by the way. No spoilers, just saying. But that's really all I've been doing when it comes to anime and stuff like that. Anime news, I'm still caught up on most of them. It's pretty interesting, though. Don't forget about me at the end of the stream. Marco, I have not forgotten about you. When it comes to the girls, I became the Millie's adopted daughter. I still have not picked back up on it. It's really just because I don't have time, Marco, if I'm being honest. Because like I stated, when it comes to reading anything of the sort, web novels and whatnot, I really just cannot catch time to read. If you get... Okay, hold up. But Marco, though, I don't want to make promises, Marco, but I'll try. When it comes to I became the male lead's adoptive daughter, I'm gonna try. I still remember, and I still got the notes written down here actually on my notepad on what chapter I'm on, chapter 86. But yeah, though, I'm still trying to get stuff caught up though. June Wydon. There. That's a romance manga, I think. I probably will check that out. Has anyone read Oyasumi Punpun? Yes, I have. Goodnight Punpun is like... It's not for me personally. It is a very depressing manga. I actually read the whole thing in one day. It's not bad. It's just... I get it. If you know what I'm saying. So Goodnight Punpun is okay. But I would not say it's a good series, quote unquote. It's a interesting series, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not for me. It's kind of, oh man, I need the mangaka, the creator of Goodnight Punpun, that was like his magnum opus in terms of creating something, I'll tell you what. But when it comes to Jun Widen, I believe, I think that is a romance series. I still haven't, I don't know. I've heard it somewhere before though, but I'll check it out later. The Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2 Part 2 premieres today, stream on Crunchyroll. Oh my god, do not watch it. The Misfit of the Demon King Academy Season 2 Part 2 is bad. Oh my god, it is bad. Oh man. Please read the light novel and save yourself some time. The Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2 Part 2 is not good. I said it. I have never seen CGI anime that bad in a very long time. They gave up on it, man. Ever since the whole Tatsuhisa Suzuki incident and replacing Arnold Votigo's voice actor, like, the whole show has gone downhill. Like, that's all I can say. It's not good, man. Please. You're currently reading a skillet? Here's the thing about Goodnight Punpun. It is... I feel like if you're a teenager and you read Goodnight Punpun, you're going to say it's like the most deepest thing of all time. But as an adult, though, you read it and you're like, damn, that's depressing. And then that's really about it. Like, I feel like Goodnight Punpun is one of those manga series that only really affects you if you're a younger audience, around like 16, 18-ish in age. But for me as an adult, it doesn't affect me the same way. But it's probably just the way I think, though. I don't know. Maybe I've grown out of that phase. But man, Goodnight Punpun is a manga that needs to stay a manga. It's like, not trying to be mean, but I feel like if I don't want to get into spoilers, but I'm not a big fan of Goodnight Punpun. if you already catch my drift. It's like I know the message is trying to convey, but at the same time, it's so it's way too. It makes itself. I don't know how to put it. It tries too hard to be ambitious. It's too ambitious. That's what it is. It is. It is way too ambitious, man. It's like, here's the thing. Once you reach towards the end of Goodnight Punpun, you kind of understand the message, but everything the main character has gone through, you're like, that's it? Like, you'll think it's a... I don't know. I'm not trying to be biased here. Is Vagabond worth reading? Yes, it is. Don't waste your time not reading it. Go read Vagabond. Vagabond would never get an anime. Period. That is pure truth. I think Vagabond is one of the, like, artistically greatest mangas to ever exist. I don't know. Vagabond would never get an anime. If whatever anime studio decides to animate, like, if there's an anime studio that's just, that really wants to make Vagabond into an anime, they're gonna disappoint all the fans, because I personally do not see Vagabond working as an anime because its art style is so, I don't want to say it's perfection, but it is something that cannot be animated. Like, it really can't be. Like, I just can't see it happening. But yes, Vagabond is worth reading. I definitely would recommend it if you can. Vagabond is one of those, is one of the three, the big three. Vagabond, Berserk, and Vinland Saga. Those three are masterpieces of manga art. Like, in terms of manga literature, those three are like the big three in my personal opinion. Like, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised that nobody wants to take a shot at it for Vagabond's anime. It just doesn't feel right. Skillet is just too pretentious. That's all I gotta say. It's just too pretentious. Like, see, the creator of Goodnight Punpun, he created that manga series pretty much out of frustration. And I feel like a lot of people forget that, like, he did have a message, but it was more so out of his frustration when he created Goodnight Punpun. He didn't really create it to tell a profound message or story. And this is the thing everybody gets confused about. Like, there's a saying, if you give an inch, they run a mile. And that's essentially what people are doing when they read Goodnight Punpun. Like, it's not as deep as it should be, but fans keep making it more deeper than what it is. Detective Conan is amazing. It is surprising how it's still going on too. Gintama. See, you know what's so funny, Marco? When you mention Gintama, none of the new anime fans nowadays will watch Gintama. But Gintama is such an amazing comedy parody series in a way. I love Gintama. Because Gintama, you know, it's kind of funny to say this, but Marco, as time goes on, you start to recognize that Gintama was right about every anime nowadays. For those who don't know, Gintama is an amazing masterpiece of a series. But what everybody knows Gintama for is pretty much how it mocks anime. And it's funny because Gintama makes all these gags mocking like modern animes, and as time goes on, you start to recognize that Gintama was right all along. Like, holy schmoly. It's just crazy to think of it like that, but it's the honest truth though. So like, Gintama, I think the best way to put it is that Gintama has aged like fine wine. Without a doubt, it has aged masterfully. You can't deny that. Just saying. But hey, that to each their own though. Because, see, I don't want to say like, I don't want to say Gintama is the best anime of all time, but it just, it's just chef's kiss. But when I was ringing up, but when I started filming, I wasn't feeling it. I'm not. See, here's the thing. I'm not really a, like, look, when it comes to, okay, Skillet, I'm gonna say this as it is. When it comes to mangas that try to tell a good story with a message, I really do not look at Goodnight Pun Pun as my go-to series. For me personally, I would prefer somebody like Yoru, what's her name? Yoru Sumino? Like, someone like her can actually write good stories, in my personal opinion. That's what I would go to personally. But hey, just saying though. Even Japanese projects is mentioning in anime Gintama. Here's the thing about Gintama. Gintama is Japanese culture mocking Japanese culture if you think about it. I think one of the best things Gintama has ever done was explain how fillers in anime works. Because you know, a lot of new anime fans don't understand what fillers are, but Gintama, I really want to pull up that clip of like the Gintama anime explaining like what fillers are, because that's like a scene I always think about when I think about Gintama from time to time. But I love Gintama though. It's truly a masterpiece. Gintoki is an amazing character, by the way. I think he's an amazing dude. Like, they don't give enough credit for Gintoki and Gintama and whatnot, but I really do like them a lot. Watch My Hero Academia Season 7 dub premiere. It was good. It was a good way to start Season 7. Here's my personal opinion about My Hero Academia Season 7. Why is nobody talking about it? Like, really. I actually really love My Hero Academia Season 7. I think Season 7 was much better than the past 3 seasons of My Hero Academia. Like, not trying to be mean, I'm just saying. I thought that for a long while, I didn't want to say it until now, but My Hero Academia has been going downhill. But I think Season 7 is amazing. I love Season 7 so far. But the problem is that by the time Season 7 came around, it already lost a lot of momentum. And My Hero Academia is ending pretty soon, for those who don't know. The manga is coming to a close pretty soon. So I really want to see what they do with it. Because it's pretty... Like, okay, allow me to say this. I have yet to actually catch up on the My Hero Academia manga. But I really do want to say that I hope it ends pretty well, because the ending will determine a lot on whether the series lives or dies for My Hero Academia. Someone mentioned about reconciliation of anime to watch. I think Monogatari series is good. It depends. Monogatari would not be my go-to, but I could see it being somebody else's go-to though. I think the problem with Monogatari is that it's really hard to understand what's going on if you don't know the lore or if you don't speak Japanese well. Because their jokes... Okay, here's the thing. I keep seeing people on Reddit mentioning that, like, you have to be Japanese to understand the jokes in Monogatari. It's not jokes, it's puns. Oh, God. Like, man, understand Japanese is all I gotta... That's really all I gotta say. Because Monogatari is an amazing series, but I'm not gonna lie, though. You really gotta understand a bit of Japanese culture and a bit of Japanese wordplay to actually get the jokes. But other than that, though, I think Monogatari can be enjoyed by anyone because the story it tells is pretty amazing. But I'm not really a big fan of the spin-offs, though, if I'm being honest, because because technically, when it comes to the Monogatari series, it ends with Kizu Monogatari, but there's a lot of the creator of Monogatari, I forgot what's his name. He's still writing a bunch of spin-offs and a bunch of tie-ins to the Monogatari series. It kind of throws the timeline off track sometimes. That is why it's good for people who like anime to see what they don't know. Here's my advice. There's really only two, there are three types of people who actually watch Monogatari. The people who watched it in order, the people who watched it on the release, on how it's released, on what series came first, and the people who read the light novels and then jumped into the anime. Those are the three types of people who watch Monogatari. For me, I was the person who read the light novels and then I jumped into the anime. But that was like a very long time ago though. I believe Bakemonogatari, the first Monogatari anime series came out 2013, 2012. Sometime around that time period, or was it 2011? Very long time ago. But Bakemonogatari was first, and then there was a lot of other series of Monogatari, such as Neko Monogatari, Owari Monogatari, Kizu Monogatari. But chronologically, though, Kizu Monogatari is technically the first part in the series, actually, but also the last part in the light novel series. See, I honestly do think that if you're going to get into Monogatari, you better start writing down your notes. Because I remember way back when I was still terminally online, me and my friends would actually binge watch Monogatari. And we will actually like take notes and everything. Like, I love those times. Those were some amazing times. How old are you? I'll be 24 soon. Very soon, actually. Idiotic. I'm currently 23. I'll be 24 very soon. Like, very, very soon. In the next week or two, next 2 weeks, I'll be 24. So I'm still relatively young, but I am not a senior high school student. A lot of people keep thinking I'm a high school student. I am not. I've already graduated college. It's just that when you're Asian, it's kind of hard to know exactly how old you are, because Asians, right? But yeah, those are some good old days, though. Like, see, here's the thing about me. If you met me way back when, in like 2013 to 2016, that was my hardcore anime phase. Like, I was on point when it came to anime. But in 2017, I kind of mellowed down a bit on anime, and now I'm mellowing down even more as time passes. But man, those are some good old days, though. Like, anime back then was completely different. Even the fandoms were different. But I was a true anime fan, put it that way. I was watching anime raw and subbed, but really though, I just watched it. But really, I just watched it raw if I could. Well, Skillet, good night. I had a hard time with Hachikuji to understand. Okay, here's the thing. I am not a big fan. Like, here's the thing, Marco. I'm not really a big fan of like the lowly type characters in Monogatari. So Hachikuji, and I understand people like Hachikuji because, like, you know, the money and whatnot and the jokes and everything revolving around her. But I'm personally not a big fan of Hachikuji's character. But I understand she's supposed to be wandering and whatnot, but for me personally, I'm not a big fan of Hachikuji's character. Because it's... Look, I don't have anything against the lowly type characters. Do not take it like that, okay, everybody? But for me personally, I'm not a big fan of Hachikuji, though. And I know that Araragi always tickles her and fondles her, which is kind of... Honestly, that has not aged well at all in today's times, but... Just saying, though, Hachikuji is not my type of character. Like, I really... Like Senjo Gahara is, like, my type of character. For what I want Araragi as, like, to have as a waifu, if you understand what I'm saying. Because See, okay, here's the thing. The reason why I like Senjo Gahara a lot as a character is because she's pretty much one of the only few characters that can actually slap Araragi in the face and get him back into, back into the right direction. Kaguki Monogatari, okay, that one is not for me personally, so we don't want to go there. But the creator of Monogatari is Nisio Isun. Yes, that's his name. So Nisio believer. Okay, now it's coming back to me. So Nisio actually took inspiration from Boogie Pop. That's how. Oh, Kabuki Monogatari. There it goes. Sorry. Ah, man, I'm just reading everything as is today. I'm crazy, ain't I? But you understand where I'm coming from, though. I don't know, man. Hachikuji is not my character to go to. Not my waifu, that is. Sorry, no offense, man. But just saying. Let's see what else is there. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments here. The live chat. But, I'm not gonna lie. I did not read Kabuki Monogatari. I know someone who did, but I didn't. Because at the time, 2013, I think, yeah, Bakemonogatari, 2013. And I think Kabuki Monogatari came out 2010, 2011, the light novel. It came out a very long time ago, actually. So, for those who don't know, the Monogatari series all released way, way, way back when, over 10 years ago, by the way. But it's kind of funny how the anime adaptations are just, I don't want to say they're fairly recent, but more recent than I would expect. It's crazy, man. It's kind of like Sword Art Online. Like how it was written in 2006-ish, like way back when, almost. I'm getting old, that's all I'm saying. Like, time flies by so fast when you're watching anime. And, like, it's 10 years already. I remember exactly 10 years ago, on this day, I was rewatching Mecha City Actors, but see, now I'm getting old. I get that, but it's hard to decide between Hanekawa and Senjo Gahara for his wife. I'm not a big fan of okay, Hanekawa is not my... Look, I know people like Hanekawa. I do like Hanekawa as a character, but as like a partner for Araragi, no. No. Please, no. I could not see that happening. Look, I did not take Hanekawa. I think Hanekawa is an amazing character, a phenomenal character, believe it or not. She goes through a lot of character development over time. But the problem I have is that she's not... I don't know. She's not the person that I see Araragi to push. Okay, here's the thing. I'm a big sucker for romance animes and in the romance genre. That's one of my guilty pleasure strong suits, I guess you can say. And I do not see Hanekawa pushing Araragi in that direction, you know? It's just me personally. Don't think I'm attacking Hanekawa. I'm not. I'm just saying. So, yeah. Good night, Leonard. If you gotta go, you gotta go. And I will end this stream pretty soon, actually, as we approach like another 5 minutes, and then I'll end the stream. So, I do gotta go training in a little bit, guys. So, yeah. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm not a big fan of Hanekawa's character in terms of making her Araragi's waifu. I'm a solid Senjo Gahara fan. Pure Senjo Gahara fan. And it's really just because she can actually make Araragi do stuff. It does not matter. She is... Okay, don't get me wrong. Look, Hanekawa... Look, she has the cat spirit and whatnot, but it doesn't matter to me because she doesn't fit right with Araragi's... Like... I just can't see her with Araragi, man. I really don't. I just can't. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me on that, Marco. I would die on that. Senjo Gahara only for Araragi. And I know Araragi is kind of like a pervert, and he's also like hitting on everybody else in a way, but no, nobody fits well with Araragi but Shinji Okahara. I ship them. Fight me. I would die on that hill. Like I love Hanekawa, but the problem, Hanekawa is a tragic character now that I think about it. Like, she is a truly tragic character. But the only thing I cannot stand about Hanekawa is that she doesn't give Araragi the right kind of push that he needs whenever shit goes down. Like, whenever things become rough, I feel like Shinji Okahara is the better support than, you know, Hanekawa. Hanekawa is the type to comfort you. Shinji Okahara is the type to slap you in the face and tell you to go do it. I don't know, man. That's just the way I see it. But I know a lot of people have their own personal ships and whatnot. But I'm sticking to my guns though, because I just can't. I don't know, man. You can't change my mind on that. You really can't. I'm sorry, Marco. You're going to have to dream about Hanekawa being with Araragi. And Shinobu. I like Shinobu a lot, but Shinobu... I'm actually laughing. I don't know exactly where I'll put Shinobu. Shinobu is like somewhere in the middle. I don't see her as like a waifu for Araragi, but I don't see her as like a friend either. She's just kind of there. No offense to Shinobu though. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people like the lowly vampires, but Shinobu to me is just a character. Shinobu is actually an amazing character now that I think about it, because once you get to Kizu Monogatari, you're like, oh crap, Shinobu's a badass. But at the same time though, one of my friends said this a long time ago, and I don't really agree with it, but it kind of is where I'm at, basically, about what I think about Shinobu. And that is that Shinobu is kind of like Araragi's pet. I don't agree with that, but I'm somewhere in that ballpark. Like you're not a pet, but you're not a waifu either. You're kind of just there. I don't know. Shinobu fits a lot of roles. In a way, she's kind of like a mentor, an emotional support, kind of like a waifu. She's like a mix of everything. It's crazy. You can't even go in the toilet and Shinobu don't know about it. Damn right. Damn right, Marco. A lot of the casual anime fans would be like, what are they talking about? Well, allow me to culture your brain for a second. I don't know, though. It's kind of hard to say, Marco. I don't know where I'll put Shinobu, now that I think about it. I do love Shinobu as a character, though. I'll be honest, when I first watched Bakemonogatari, I was not really a big fan of Shinobu. But as the series goes on, you kind of like Shinobu a bit more, because Shinobu does start to open up a bit more to Araragi. But currently, my perspective still is pretty much the same as it was 7-8 years ago, though. Still somewhere between pets, mentor, waifu material. She's like a mix of everything, so I can't really place her anywhere. She's just kind of there as of now. But she's not a bad character. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't know where I would place her. But hey, to each their own though. But overall though, when it comes to like the lowly type characters, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the lowly type genre. It's just not for me personally. But I get the appeal though. I know some people do like the lowly genre and stuff. I don't, because I prefer the older women. But just saying. But yeah, though, everybody, I do got to get going now because I got to start training in a little bit. So, without further ado, everyone, thanks for watching. I will live stream again in the future, sometime next week, between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Don't worry, everybody. I will post it here on this YouTube channel as like a future live stream, so that way you can know about it a few to a couple days ahead before I live stream. And yeah, as I stated before, currently I'm trying to transition away from my training. I'm not training too much today, by the way, for those who are wondering, believe it or not, because I am a bit underweight, so I am not going to train too heavy today. Just a bit of body weight exercises like push-ups, sit-ups, leg raises, pull-ups, that kind of stuff. And yeah, everybody, Thanks for watching. Like I stated, I'm still achieving my goals, still achieving my dreams. We're still chasing after that. Maybe I don't mind dating, but we kind of had to wait and see whoever shows up that is in my life. And what else? Vlog pretty soon. And with that, that's really about it. See you.